हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। जैसा कि आप सभी लोग जानते हैं, घटनाचक्र हमारे यूपीपीसीएस एग्जाम के लिए कितनी ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है। इवन बहुत सारे टॉपर्स ये सजेस्ट करते हैं कि हमें घटनाचक्र को बहुत अच्छे से कंप्लीट करना चाहिए, स्पेशली जो उसका एक्सप्लेनेशन वाला पार्ट है, कि कई बार क्वेश्चन इससे डायरेक्टली पूछ लिए जाते हैं। बट प्रॉब्लम ये हो जाती है, घटनाचक्र काफ़ी ज़्यादा लेंथी बुक है एंड ऑलमोस्ट हमें 5 से 6 सब्जेक्ट की घटनाचक्र कंप्लीट करना होता है। जैसा कि आप सभी लोग जानते हैं, हमारा अपकमिंग यूपीपीसीएस एग्ज़ाम 12 अक्टूबर को होने वाला है। ऐसे में हमारे पास बहुत कम टाइम बचा है, तो यहाँ मैंने आपके काम को थोड़ा सा आसान करते हुए घटनाचक्र के जो पिछले सालों में पूछे हुए इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है, उसका जो एक्सप्लेनेशन वाला पार्ट है, उनकी वन लाइनर्स प्रिपेयर किए हैं। इसे आप जो भी अपने लिए स्टैटिक सोर्स आपने लोगों ने रिफ़र किया हो, या लक्ष्मीकांत हुआ या किसी भी कोचिंग के नोट, उसके साथ आप इसे भी रेफर कर सकते हैं। ये आपको बहुत ज़्यादा बेनिफिट पहुंचाने वाला है। एंड वीडियो कंप्लीट होने के बाद आप इस पीडीएफ को मेरे टेलीग्राम चैनल डिकोड पीसीएस ऑफिशियल से जाकर डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं, जिसका लिंक मैंने अपने चैनल के अबाउट सेक्शन में दिया हुआ है। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट द लेक्चर। हमारा चार्टर एक्ट ऑफ 1813 डिप्राइव्ड कंपनी ऑफ इट्स मोनोपोली ओवर ट्रेड विद इंडिया, but it still enjoys monopoly of trade with China and trade in tea. The Indian Council Act of 1892 increased the functioning of legislative councils. The council were given the power of discussing the budget and addressing the question to the executive. The provision for establishment of Supreme Court at Fort William, Calcutta, was made in Regulating Act of 1773. Sir Elijah M.P. was first Chief Justice of Supreme Court. The Federal Court in India was established by Government of India in 1935. On 1st October 1937, Sir Maurice Goyer was its first Chief Justice. The principle of diarchy refers to division of legislation subjects into central and provincial categories. The subjects were further divided into reserved subjects and transfer categories. Reserved subjects were comparatively important subjects. They were police, jail, justice, finance, irrigation. They were administered by the Governor General and his Executive Council without being responsible to the Legislative Council. Subject of lesser importance, transfer subjects such as education, agriculture, local self-government were administered by the Governor with the aid of minister responsible to the Legislative Council. Some salient features of Government of India in 1935. Diarchy was introduced at central level instead of provinces as envisaged in the Government of India Act 1919. The Government of India Act 1935 proposed to set up All India Federation comprising the British India provinces and princely states. Supremacy of British Parliament remained intact under the Government of India Act 1935. Burma was separated from India with the effect from April 10, 1937. Government of India Act 1935 abolished the Council of Secretary of State for India, which was created in 1858. The Federal Court of India was established on 1st October 1937. Sir Maurice Goyer was its first Chief Justice. The Federal Bank was established under the Act, which was later known as Reserve Bank of India. Government of India Act 1919 was passed by British Parliament. The Act embodied the reforms recommended in the report of Secretary of State for India, Edwin Montagu and Viceroy Lord Chelmsford. The Act provided for the introduction of dual form of government at provinces known as diarchy. The separation of power was made by Government of India Act 1935. It divided the legislative power between central and provincial legislatures, replaced diarchy in provinces with diarchy at center. The Act also envisaged establishment of Federation of India made up of both British India and some of princely states. However, this part was never implemented. The Government of India in 1935 is an important source for the Constitution of India. Many provisions of Indian Constitution like federal government, diarchy at center, distribution of power between center and state, and establishment of federal court have been taken from it. Provincial elections were held in British India in 1936-37 as mandated by the Government of India in 1935. The elections were held in 11 provinces: Madras, Bihar, Central Province, Odisha, United Province, Bombay Presidency, Assam, North West Frontier Province, Bengal, Punjab, The Congress ministry was formed in 8 provinces out of 11 provinces in the election of 1937. The cabinet mission arrived in India in 1946. Mission proposed for a plan for formation of Constituent Assembly to frame a constitution for the Indian Union, the representative of one representative over 10 lakh population. The Swaraj Party, in its conference at Ranchi in May 1934, presented the policy of Constituent Assembly. It was to be composed of Indian representatives elected on the basis of adult suffrage. It was the first occasion when the Indian demanded for a Constituent Assembly. There were 6 other members in drafting committees constituted under chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Gopala Swami Iyengar, Alladi Krishnama Swami Iyer, K.M. Munshi, Muhammad Sadullah, B.L. Mittal, and D.P. Khaitan, and Madhav Rao was included, replacing B.L. Mittal, and T.T. Krishnamachari was included after the death of T.P. Khaitan in 1948. The Constitution was adopted by Constituent Assembly in its 11th session on 26 November 1949. K.C. Weir said India is a quasi-federal state. For the total women members in Constituent Assembly, there were mainly 15. So these are 15 women members of Constituent Assembly. So this is our second chapter of Ghatnachakra. The Constitution is supreme in Indian political system. The Constitution of India is supreme law of the land. It lays down the framework defining the fundamental political principles, establish the structure, procedures, power and duties of government institutions, and set out fundamental rights, directive principles and duties of citizens. The concept of judicial review in Indian Constitution has been adopted from the United States. Scope of judicial review is limited in India as decided in Keshwanand Bharti case 1973. The basic structure doctrine forms the basis of power of Indian judiciary to review and strike down amendments to the Constitution of India. The concurrent list is borrowed from the Constitution of Australia, and the inclusion of directive principle of state policy in Indian Constitution is inspired by the directive principles given in the Constitution of Ireland. The inclusion of directive principle of state policy is taken from Constitution of Ireland. The concept of formation of Rajya Sabha influenced by Irish Republic. There are fundamental rights हमारा यूनाइटेड स्टेट से लिया गया था, पार्लियामेंट्री सिस्टम ग्रेट ब्रिटेन यूके से, इमरजेंसी प्रोविजन जर्मनी, वीमर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी आयरलैंड से, रूल ऑफ लॉ हमारा इंग्लैंड से लिया गया, प्रोसीजर एस्टैब्लिश बाय लॉ जापान से, बिल बाय गवर्नर फॉर प्रेसिडेंट कंसिडरेशन टेकन फ्रॉम कनाडा एंड कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट टेकन फ्रॉम ऑस्ट्रेलिया। पर हमारा घटना चक्र का फर्स्ट और सेकेंड चैप्टर कंप्लीट हुआ। सो ऐसे ही और वीडियोस देखने के लिए आप मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लें सो दैट कि मैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो कोई भी अपलोड करूं तो आप लोगों तक वो वीडियो पहुंच जाए। अगर आप लोगों को मेरे एफर्ट्स अच्छे लगे हो देन प्लीज़ लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब टू माय चैनल। थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग माय वीडियो।